I know Bangalore morning is difficult. I think people are still not here. But I think being in workforce management, talent supply chain, right time, right cost, right location, right skill is natural to us. So thank you for those who are here on time. I appreciate it. See, I have been here in this conference, Shiva, thanks to you. And I think this forum, first of all, is a wonderful forum. I am sure some of the first timers who are attending, some of the folks who have attended a few times, see a lot of value. Value is not in these sessions, but the ones that you have amongst yourselves. I think this is the community of the teams and whatever you call it, workforce management, talent supply chain, operations, talent acquisition, whatever you call it in your companies. But you all are kind of holding the glue, right, across many functions. So you're always sandwiched. I'm sure no one gives any credit to you for anything that you do. Yeah, most of you must be getting blamed for things which have not happened. So, which is part of the life. So I think it's good this community of people who are wounded to a great extent every day with a lot of stress, meet each other and share your stress points. I think that's very good. I think we need that forum. So thank you, Shiva and team, for creating this. See, what I thought is generally, I would talk at length, but today I would like to keep it very brief and have a more interacting session, because otherwise my points remain the same. They may become stale actually, because there is no rocket science in what we do. Ultimately, it comes back to right time, right skill, right cost, as I mentioned. And that can be done in many ways. For different industries, it means different things. So it can be each industry or each company can figure out what it means for them. But bottom line, at least for IT industry, we have to just provide the right skill at the right time, right, at the right cost. I think that's why I use the IT services example a lot more. And we can learn in IT services a lot from manufacturing. Because I started my career in manufacturing. That's why I think my fundas are very clear. If you work in shop floor, I think you never forget how a car is manufactured and what are the parts required and what is the testing that's required. Then it gets sold and the customer pays for it. Right? It's very simple supply chain. And when it comes to IT, we overcomplicate it. But end of the day, I think that is what it is. How do you make sure you decide what you need to order, which part is like which skill, which part has to be ordered in how much lead time. In our industry, we can keep complaining that the client wants someone yesterday. We got a short lead time, right? Very easy example. A lot of us use it to our convenience. Say that I got only 15-day notice, I got only 1-day notice, 10-day notice. But that's good, no? That means if you are getting short lead time, it's an opportunity to take a premium, right? It's opportunity it's like laundry service in a hotel. You stay in a hotel, they will ask you same day laundry, double. Next day you give half. So I think our job has to be like that. If you're doing something at a short notice, we should do it and we should get premium for it. It's the fastest fingers first. I think we blame. I think somewhere I feel in our industry, our function, we use it as an excuse to justify, not as a reason to go and sell more of just in time and charge a premium. I've just given some thoughts. This is how I think we need to just change our mindset. So the parts have to come in automobile company. You know that what is it that you need, how many parts, what is the lead time, and based on the lead time, you decide your strategy. You decide if it's a short lead time, then I need to do just in time, or if it's a long lead time, do I need to buy and keep it in stock, like made to stock? Or if it's really long time, very unique product, like nowadays the clients are asking skills which are absolutely super niche, then it becomes made to order. That means you have to create it. It's not there. You can search the world and say this profile does not exist. Of course it does not exist. You manufacture it, you make it, right? So I think those are the things learned from manufacturing is I would strongly suggest. IT industry has still a long way to go to learn from the basics of manufacturing. So I think, or for supply chain, look at Amazon. You all are Amazon users. You order Amazon, Swiggy, whatever. They don't ask these questions. The product is there on the catalog. You click the button, it comes to you the same day or the next day. Then why do we complain when it comes to our function to do the same thing? Because our people are expecting us, our functions are expecting us to be a Swiggy or a Zomato or a Amazon. And so put that perspective in the mind, right? So having said that, I think Shiva gave a big topic and he has covered almost everything, whether it's customer resilience, workforce, workplace, innovation, everything he has covered. Basically what he's trying to say is we are everywhere. I think that's what I understood when I read this. So our function is extremely important for the company. I'm sure if your teams are on leave, there is noise, which means that we are always in demand. But couple of things. See, we are talking about AI. I want to just focus on AI for this community of our team. AI is, of course, a lot of hype around AI also right now. But that's how I think the technologies emerge. First it comes with a hype, then it becomes normalized. But our team has to really introspect because a lot of work we do, if you really think in a very unbiased manner, is we are trying to stitch together things which are broken. Correct? I think your demand system will not talk to supply, your demand is not clear, so we are trying to fix. A lot of things we do is a lot of stuff which is broken. So assume our jobs will go away. I think let's start with that premise. I think we can keep justifying I'm great and I'm nothing is going to happen to my job and all. I think the step one we should think is our job is extremely perfect candidate to be an agent. I'm serious, think about it, because what we do a day in a life, you step back and think, we are doing repetitive stuff. We are doing stuff, we are calling people, coordinating, whoever it is your demand person or your supply person, right? And then some systems, we are entering something or we are making some reports. And then someone else, some fulfillment is happening or whatever, something is happening, a bench is getting deployed or, so various transactions are happening in your companies. If you think really impartial, unbiased, a lot of work we do is because someone else has not done their job well in the first place, right? And I think we are being middlemen to a great extent. So I think the earlier we acknowledge the fact that we are at risk, it actually gives us the energy and motivation to do something different. Yeah, I think therefore my first advice is first understand that and see what are the areas of your work that you do. You are better off delegating to an agent. Yeah. I hope it's making sense, right? Because otherwise we are all very used to and comfortable doing the same thing because we get perfect in that and you're in a comfort zone. So when you have to do an agent around it, then we can talk to the respective, we may not be the best technologists in great, but we have partners or we have our CIO, CTO functions in the company. We can actually identify use cases. That's what we have done. I think our Wipro, our team would have shared with you what we have done on, what I call shadi.com. in Wipro, which is where you have demands and you have supply and you open it up and people kind of figure it out and they move into their career aspiration and find a job, right? To a great extent, that's a good example of how you get out of the way and let employee figure out which are the roles available. Manager figures out who are the employees available. They both interview and AI will help them match. And then if both of them are lucky, then they get along well, right? I think that's a simple funda of this. So similarly, you think of multiple areas that you could do, stuff in your roles that can help you. There could be many more use cases in our teams that we are experimenting. For example, interviews, right? A lot of our talent acquisition team spends a lot of time in screening the CVs and conducting interviews. The panelists never available. So that also adds to a problem, right? A lot of things happen. So our teams have started using AI for interviews. Again, I think it's a mindset issue. A lot of candidates initially struggled to talk to a bot and answer questions which were better than a human being, by the way. The assessment and the feedback was very objective, much better than a human being. Again, there was no bias. And I think this is the future where the candidates will get interviewed by AI, at least the level 1, level 2 if possible. And then even the skilling side, we are starting to use that. How can AI really, we have AI agent for skilling itself to train people. So all I'm saying is there could be multiple things. So from my side, the talent supply chain, the workforce management where bulk of planning happens and transactional work happens, I think that can be a good AI agent. And then the teams in our function who have such a deep expertise can actually elevate themselves to do much more strategic work, more thinking work. I think we are spending a lot of time doing stuff. See, when all these Tally and other financial systems came, right, For bookkeeping, we said the accountant's job will go away. We said they will not be required. But I think you see so many years later, I think systems are there. The people have stopped doing the double entry bookkeeping, matching the ledger, debit, credit, etc. But then they're still there. They're doing much better job, and they're doing better financial analysis, financial planning. They're helping their clients in various ways. I think that's the way to think about our roles. So I think that's what I wanted to share with you. There is no end to this role. As I said, I only used few examples of the candidates moving to their roles or maybe hiring, but there could be areas in terms of resilience also, which he has used here. For example, I don't know how many of you worked on it or were disturbed. This Red Sea cable got cut. Correct? You are aware of this over the weekend that some 4, 5, 7 cables got cut. Anyone of you was engaged in anything in your companies for that? No, right? So these are things which you want to start thinking, they will start impacting you. It impacted us. So there was a 100 millisecond impact. But there was such a big noise from the clients, such a big noise from our employees. Right? So resilience. In resilience, then what we have to do? We have to then, divert the traffic or move somewhere else, do something. All I'm saying is resilience is equally very important nowadays, what I'm finding, with the geopolitical situation emerging. I think our role generally doesn't think like that. In our role, what will happen, assuming the tariffs discussion is happening, I hope you are aware of what's happening on the tariffs. And if the tariff situation continues, apart from the uncertainty which is hurting the business right now, which is a different issue, what they are talking of outsourcing tax. Suppose they put outsourcing tax, suppose. What will happen is your India story. What was the India story? Labor arbitrage? That will go away. Then what happens to the industry? Correct? Your margins will tank. Then you have to figure out where to do the work. Then maybe we have to set up the work centers in US at the same cost. Is it possible? Answer is yes, it is possible. Why not? Think of setting up work in a location, tier 3 location in US, having community college students at a lower cost, doing it. Possible. Why not? Like, I think to me it's a imagination that we can do. So what I'm saying is this function has to really have their intelligence to think through what could be the implications on the business top line and the business bottom line. We should elevate ourselves from doing this fulfillment, this transaction here and there, right? I think that's where sometimes most of us get buried in. Just elevate to what is the problem we are solving. Ultimately, we are increasing the revenue of the company and the profits of the company. And what are the ways to do it? The work today, after COVID, can happen anywhere. Isn't it? Work can happen anywhere. It's just that we have to have a strategy to execute to that. And to that, this function is absolutely important. So I'll pause here for any questions. I think if it makes sense, people can share their experiences or ask any questions. I think that will be much better.
In this, when we are talking about this hybrid workforce, right? How do you think will be, or how will the role of senior leaders change in this entire thing? Like, what will be the role of a CXO, CEO? How is that going to change? Because we are saying that half the workforce is going to be digital, half is going to be human, and humans will try to do more of strategic kind of role. AI will take care of all the other, day-to-day activities, repetitive work and all. How does the roles of the senior leaders going to change in this?
Yeah, no, it's a good question, Ashwini, and I think it will across levels, not just CXO, CEO, even ourselves, our manager, second line, third line. See, what I think is everyone has to start, first of all, thinking that we all need to build expertise, domain expertise, and technical expertise. So as a CXO, first of all, we need to be AI ready. When I say AI ready, the CXOs have to really go through AI training, which does not happen easily, by the way. Right? So now, in Wipro, we are actually pushing even the board members to go through AI training. So I think the point is first get skilled on AI. Skilling on AI doesn't mean code. Skilling in AI actually means understand what is AI, what are the various tools available, what are the various use cases, industry, etc., etc. So that is very important. Second is, I think from a leadership perspective, they have to connect a lot with the client leadership a lot more. I think the leadership working only within their company, managing their teams, that time has to reduce. They have to get a lot more externally focused, whether it's with the industry, whether it's with the clients, and do a lot more thinking and forward planning. I think today, most companies, the way we work is we have a pipeline, we have a sales, we go after the sales and we go and we run. When anything happens externally, we react and we try to course correct. I don't think there is a very long-term planning done very well for the next 3 years. I think we are just living in the current quarter or at best next quarter. I think the leadership has to start thinking of the next 1 year, 2 year, 3 years a lot more strategically, because if you make a change, any change in your strategy, even to say, as I mentioned, if you have to change the location of workplace, if a particular location becomes unattractive, then I think to change a location is not like switch on, switch off, right? It takes years to achieve that. So I think those kind of things will need to be on the strategic roadmap of the leadership. Yeah, please.
My name is Rahul from Fractal. I want your help in helping us explain, decode how to simplify the forecasting piece. You gave some examples about how you do it in the manufacturing setup in terms of manufacturing, right? But how to do a forecasting in a simple way? Because I think we have complicated demand forecasting, people demand forecasting. I don't know about others, at least I think we have. But yeah, how to simplify the forecasting? Just get the basics right.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. We all in the industry struggle because of lack of forecast, absolutely. So I think to me, first of all, what I have seen, you're from IT industry, right?
Yeah, AI, we are from Fractal.
Fractal. You should tell us how to do it. You should be making an offering and selling it. See, to me, most of the forecasting in IT is done in dollar terms. Correct? Your dollar revenue so much, your percentage increase so much, every earnings you hear, this is all in dollar terms. But you don't forecast or you don't execute in dollars. You execute with people. And people have skills. Correct? So it's all a skill forecast that you need. You don't need a dollar forecast. Dollar forecast is good for the financial analysts. So therefore, the dollar forecast has to be converted to a skill forecast, which is where I think the biggest struggle is. Because when you do a planning, bottoms-up planning, account level or market level, geography level, you will struggle. Because I don't know how that dollar came. Everyone gave some number, but that number has to be backed with. So when you say this much, say $100 is my forecast in this account, what is it made up of? It's made up of these many people at this level with these many skills with this cost. Correct? I think somewhere that equation is completely missing in my mind. Or if it is there, it is just a Excel which kind of works without any logic. People would have just filled it up. So I think as our function, I wouldn't, there are multiple variables, right? One is we call the band, one is we call the location. I would just focus on the skill, because in today's world, nothing else matters. I think we should just say, convert that dollar forecast into skill forecast. So which are those top 3 or 5 skills that I need to make sure I meet that revenue number, right? Or meet that dollar number. And then we should go after planning to fulfill or creating capacity for that skill. And that skill will determine which location. That's why I'm not starting with location. I'm starting with a skill angle. So for example, in our experience, what we found is we were losing revenue, right? These are good examples. When you lose revenue, you know that you have missed the forecast, right? You have actually messed it up completely. And that is how in every company, I'm sure you must be getting some revenue leakage, revenue loss, pressure from your account teams. That's a good start. So if you come to know you have lost revenue, you should know why you lost revenue. Correct? You would have lost because you have not fulfilled a particular position. Don't stop there. Continue with that as to what skill you could not fulfill. Correct? And we found that we were struggling on Java full stack, and Ashwini I think is there, so she would have struggled with this when she was with us. So Java full stack was in the news for always, missing the revenue numbers for the company. So then go back, think again like manufacturing location. If this part was in shortage, what would the manufacturer do? They would buy and create an inventory. Simple, no? If you don't have rice at home, you buy 10 kgs and you keep it at home. Something like that. So then they started doing something called cadre building. In our industry, fancy words, but nothing but they were just creating a stock of Java full stack, right? So naturally, when you create a stock of Java full stack, there will be a lot of people who will question why, who will pay for it, what is the cost, right? I'm sure you will get messed up into all these things. But that's the right thing to do. So then they took a decision, yes, let's invest, let's create an inventory of that skill. And in the future, when the demand kept coming, the fulfillment happened faster, the revenue leakage for Java full stack came down. Yeah, I hope long answer, but I'm trying to tell you how we can, so if we had done a better forecasting on Java full stack, I would not have had a revenue problem. So similarly, I think we should know what are the skills in your inventory today in your company, and what are you selling, and at least take some prediction of which skill is going to be continuing, which skill is not going to continue long term, and see what are the skill shortages in your company. And for the skills that are in shortage, either run training programs, or you run hiring programs, or whichever way you want to develop that skill, you do that. That's the way I would do forecasting. I know Prakash is here from our team. His day-to-day, I think, headache is this only. And it is what it is. We'll have to learn and figure it out.
Hi Sanjeev, Swapnil. In your view, is this entire agentic AI hype market-driven as well? That's one question. The other thing is, while everyone is jumping into the bandwagon of agentic AI, as an organization, what is it that you should be cautious of, while starting this journey or getting into it? So those two questions.
Yeah, see, one is I say it's a hype, but I'm sure it will be reality very soon, because we are seeing success in pockets. Why I say it's a hype? Because your partners, I don't know anyone from Microsoft here? No. Or Microsoft will say that BPS jobs will go away, BPS industry will go away, or agent will do everything. And they will kind of not only tell this to us, they will tell the world and tell the clients. And the moment you tell the client will tell us to reduce the price, right? You're seeing that same thing. So that's the impact the hype is creating. It's actually dropping the price for all of us. The client is already asking you to factor the AI benefit into your pricing. So that's a big issue right now that we are dealing with. Why I say it's partially real, because when I try to do that within our company, I find success. Okay? For example, if I do it for my HR shared services, I gave examples of interviews, I gave examples of the matching and fulfilling some position. I'm seeing benefits of that, right? But when I want to do in a client environment, we are not able to see the benefits or not able to do much about it, right? Because of various reasons. All of us have individual reasons of why we can't do. But I think it will go away over a period of time. So the point is, on agentic AI, the concept is there. It's going through a cycle of building trust with the ecosystem to do it. So my suggestion is we have to get on the bandwagon to get skills required for creating those agents, and create those agents in your companies to begin with, in your internal processes. Do that. I think therefore and I'm sure each company, for us, what we have done is we have created a responsible AI team, to your point, right? What should we be cautious of? The only thing, I think, technology is there. What we have to be cautious of is just making sure that we are not using it, with bias or with, risks that come with it. There is a human in the loop which actually is a lot more aware of what is going into the algorithm, what is coming out of it. Is your data clean to give clean answers? I think that's the additional check we need. Otherwise, to me, it's there. And it's coming faster than I think, because what I'm started to think is, even now Google is forcing us literally, right? Like Microsoft is forcing us to use agent space. And I think each one of them is getting better every day. And the one way I think which is helping, and maybe our teams can discuss with you, is when we are hiring freshers, we are seeing a lot more AI infusion in our processes. Because people like us who have graduated long back, there's a huge resistance to change for all of us, right? We want to make sure our jobs are safe and we want to retire peacefully. I can understand that. But the freshers who are coming are challenging and trying to do things very differently. In some accounts, we have seen that. So encourage that, is what I would say. Yeah, please.
Let's talk about call centers back in America. Let's say if it happens, sir. Okay, you answered my first question. Is it possible? Yeah, possible. Part-time. Today, you don't need to hire people with skill set for that job. All you need to do is speak English, little bit of common sense, and the tool will give the process flow, right? So it is possible. And what will, or how it will impact countries like India, Manila, core call center business is something, or should we start investing into cyber technology, or I don't know, I mean, shouldn't we start thinking about it, is what?
Of course you should. Yeah. Forget everything. If you have a call center business or any other business, not just call center, any other business which today can be done by the AI or by a system, and this call center technology is not new. This has been there for some time.
Yeah.
Of course. That, to me, irrespective of tariff, most of the companies have done it. See, we all talk, IVRs were there long back. Mm-hmm. IVRs do take care of your basic questions. Then we went to online. Online also I don't call centers many times. I go online, I solve things myself. So I think call center is where, in my definition, it's a defect. Where everything fails, people call. Ideally, a human does not need to call, right? First of all, a defect should not happen.
Yeah.
If you're calling a call center, something has gone wrong. So I think your philosophy should be first time right, whatever it is, correct? So your call center therefore becomes anyway a project to start saying that why should a call center exist? What are the reasons why people are calling? For each of the reason, can I eliminate that reason itself? But having said that, you will still have some people in call center, correct? Now, then you have to decide what is the cost per call or whatever your metric is in your company, correct? So cost per call today, maybe India, maybe Philippines is pretty having attractive cost. But tomorrow, if that equation changes, you have to go back and do stuff. Ultimately, the call centers were in the parent locations only, no? This outsourcing industry came only 25 years back.
Yeah.
So it's not that it cannot happen. And it can happen better and cheaper now, outside.
True, very true. Vietnam, all those, small.
And like our Karnataka is giving a lot of tax benefits for, say, GCCs nowadays.
Yeah.
Most of the states in US are giving tax benefit for coming and setting up a center there.
Yeah.
Same thing. So it's a global impact of a geopolitical nature where each country wants to protect their workforce, which is fair. I don't see anything wrong with that.
So as a country, like I'm just speaking for India here, the tech giants, I mean, including you, are you all thinking about what is next for us as a country? How do we take this forward? Let's say, even if whether back to America or respective region happens or not, like you said, the contact avoidance is the way to go. So is there a forum, or is somebody sitting and thinking what is next?
That should be your company, your senior leadership, no? Like, so who is that somebody? Each company leadership has to sit and think for themselves what is their strategy. A lot of companies reduce the BPO footprint. Correct? A lot of companies.
Yes.
They reduce the BPO footprint as a strategy. But recently Capgemini acquired WNS, which is a BPO company, betting big on the BPO space becoming agentic. Yeah. So I think there are multiple strategies each company will decide. So I think I'm not saying that BPO going away from India or anything is a reality or not. But the point is, it's an opportunity for the companies to see how to monetize it or how to keep it. So there is no one answer fit all here. Each company will have to decide what is it they want to do. Some companies want to diversify. When I say diversify, someone may today be doing only the US business. They may want to start looking at other geographies. For example, Saudi is growing in a big way. Do you want to really focus on Saudi as a country and start doing more business in Saudi? A lot of countries did not invest in India. A lot of companies. They thought that India is a market which is very price sensitive, a lot of headache. We are better off servicing US, which is a conscious strategy companies had. So you can decide whether you want to diversify and start an India business itself. I think those are individual things each company has to decide for themselves. There is no one sitting somewhere and doing something for your company.
Yeah. Okay, so not for the company, for the country. Anyways.
The country also, no, it's all why should, of course, government will try to meet, you are hearing a lot of things, but there is a limit to which country also is saying make India great again, America is saying make America great again, so both are right.
Yeah.
So I think country will do what they have to do, but then in these constraints, we have to do what is right for our company. Yeah. We suddenly become very patriotic when it comes to these things, but ultimately we have been following the West and going after the US business. So let's think what is it that we want to do as a company.
I think it's always there in the DNA, sir. I would disagree with you.
No, I agree, but as a human nature, I think we all survive. So companies will survive. Companies have strong leadership. They have to just get their strategy right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Of 25% coming in. What's the future for GCCs?
So we don't know. The tax, there's a discussion going on right now. But if it happens, then I think the GCCs will have to take a call.
So you either run it with extra cost?
Possible. So if it's again, it's all a matter of if things become expensive, what you do. Right? For India, I think the oil became expensive from US, we bought from Russia. So same thing. So if the GCC becomes expensive, then the parent has to decide. So today the GCC value proposition is I can do better at a lower cost or maybe at a marginally higher cost but more control. So again that equation the parents will have to revisit. if at all it changes. But I think let's not make assumptions that it will go so bad. I think none of the countries are wanting to kill the business, right? They're all wanting to protect their interest. So I think it happened in the past. I think it will be okay. But yes, it's a point to reflect right now and create your own strategies of scenarios, what could happen if this happens. Yeah. We are doing the same thing, as you know, Geeta. I think for us, I think local workforce is more important in US now. So we are also, as an industry, we are thinking that so far our industry thrived on sending people on assignments from here. But how can I start developing local talent in that country so that I can kind of have local support, the local business. Similar strategies will have to evolve. Yeah. More localization.
Evolving, especially the workforce perspective and the evolution in technologies and all. If you could throw some light on that.
Yeah, I think I'm sure many people would have traveled to China from this room. So China is in its own domain, much ahead of everyone, which is what I could say. I think you may not able to see a lot of things because we can't use Alipay like an Alibaba Pay, and we can't possibly use their equivalent of Uber. We can't use their equivalent of Google. Can't use equivalent of their WhatsApp. But I think the features they have in their tools are far superior, point number one. Point number two, when I meet the people there, I think a lot of them speak English, which was not the case few years back. I went to one of the universities there, and the kind of labs that I saw there are better than most of the labs I have seen in India, in terms of the AI labs, in terms of the thinking for future. The scale is just immense, unbelievable scale. I think for people in US, they will think US is the scale, but to me, China was 10x of US. So I think that's the kind of scale, that's the kind of thinking there. And China, I think the big thing is execution happens. They don't talk, they just do, right? I think in our country, we have too many people talking and kind of we get stuck somewhere. But China, I've seen absolute amazing innovation. And I think the only thing which they feel, and I spoke to universities, they actually would like more help on further on the communication and behavioral skills. I was surprised. I went to say that I will set up an AI COE and all that stuff there, but they were more interested in, can you help set up a communication COE? Because we think that India, I think the people are good in communication, good in behavioral skills, soft skills. But I think China, being a very hierarchical society, I think they felt that they have not developed their folks, their teams, to really be thinking and talking. They have been more doing stuff. So I think that was to me a very interesting insight that I got. But as relations improve geopolitically and whatever happens, I think it's a market worth watching.
I've been to US, I've been to China. Terrific, it is terrific. And like Sir said, they speak English. For those who don't speak English, it's okay. You know what they do? They have a translator. They don't worry. They just, okay, wait, give me a second. And they don't have time to type. It's all messages, voice messages. Fabulous. And the products, Huawei, amazing stuff. It's just that I couldn't get it to, or it doesn't work here. It's all like, yeah, right. And the other thing about China is, like he said, execution. Yeah. I visited the plant. I work for Dell Technologies. I visited the plant in Chennai. I visited the plant in China, a couple of plants. Terrific. It's mass. I think I gave this feedback. I think Trump, at least once you should visit. Sorry, I'm taking names here. I did give this feedback. Lastly, I'll end up with one thing. If I was there for another 1 hour in one company, technological company, they'll make a model of me. They are capable. Very, very good at, copying best practice.
Yeah. I think everyone should go. Why Trump? I think I would say that at least from a imagination perspective, visualization perspective, I think the perspectives change when you go and come. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate it. Shiva, as always, you and Partho. I did not see Partho today, but assuming he's fine, he's good. So keep up the good work. Really appreciate it. This community needs it. But guys, please, again, I'll summarize saying that start with the assumption our jobs are at risk. I think that will make you go out of comfort zone. and do things differently, because otherwise don't create a shell around yourself that what you're doing is so superior that no one else will do it. I think technology is there ready to do our jobs much better than us. Yeah, thank you.
Sanjeev, I'm so inspirational with your insights. We got a lot of questions from the audience. So you're truly energized the fantastic Friday today, setting the tone and expectations and sharing the insights and all. I mean, this is a reality, and we need to adapt and move on with this. So on behalf of GWFM and all of us, we express deepest gratitude for your valuable time besides the busy schedule. Can we have you want to have a felicitation?